And by perfect, I don't mean as in you you look perfect or anything. I mean you look nice and everything, but your body now no longer requires to live off the principles that your body are used to. It now lives on new principles. Its new principles being that of just consuming the matter and masses around you. Now you're probably wondering, what about the Earth and its core and whatnot? Because the Earth, it still needs our waste and whatnot. Well, here's the thing. The cellular inhibitor, like I mentioned earlier, it increases your higher brain function as well as everyone else's. So by then we would figure out how to perfect not just us but the Earth. What we would do is we would create a much larger scale version of the cellular inhibitor. This one I call the Infinity Staff. This would be like the cellular inhibitor, but for the universe, pretty much.
Multiverse, really, but
that's
a story for another day. And if we told you the details about the whole multiverse thing, you would lock us up forever in a fucking asylum. I mean, it would take. I mean, just to begin to try to explain something as huge as this is, you'd probably stop listening to me. You'd probably think I'm fucking crazy.
You think that our perception of reality is just people, yeah, you guys should probably find a facility. Yeah, here's my card. Yeah, go to that place.
Yeah, go to the nice halfway. Go to the nice people down the halfway house.
Yeah.
You would think we're schizophrenic.
Yeah,
which, maybe we are, maybe we aren't. Who fucking cares?
I don't. But the point is, the cellular inhibitor, when used, and most people, you would also ask, but what if it were used as a weapon, as a biological agent or whatnot? Well, here's the thing. It's also technological, at least halfway. It's both biological and technological. The technological part of it being that it scans the brain for positive impulses. And so in order for it to work for you, your brain has to have enough positive impulses. And if it does, then you accept it, and it gives you all the energy and whatnot. But if your brain has negative impulses, too much negative impulses, then it'll perfect your health, but you'll basically sweat it out through your pores, and you won't be able to let it. It won't work for you.
Or at least not as bad. Or at least not as good.
Not as good. You won't get the hyper intelligence or the infinite strength or whatnot.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is a really huge project in the making. And obviously, if we're given the right tools, then we can pretty much do anything, really.
I mean, of course, it has to go with the government funding. It's an endless idea, but at the same time, it's not incomprehensible. It's just really difficult. And this would have to be done by the top leading scientists on our planet, and as well as the best engineers and whatnot. Yeah. But us being in the name of it, us giving the ideas, the designs and whatnot of it, just the way the blueprints, how it works, our feedback basically, and their way of configuring it would equally make it work.
Yeah. So
it's sort of like programming a computer chip, but this computer chip only works for a certain type of computer. It only works for it doesn't work for a Mac. Works for PC basically.
Yeah.
So we're PCs and the others are Macs. Think of it like that.
Anyway, so that's the whole idea here. Hopefully you guys don't think us too crazy. I mean, you can think us a little bit crazy, especially for thinking this ambitious.
Oh, I almost forgot actually. Also, adding to again about the Earth, the way it would work is that the Earth would also survive off the same principles that we do. However, though, the difference is that the Earth would draw dark matter from outside its own universe, basically feeding it. It's using that as its resource for survival, and it's also doing that for the other planets like Mars, Pluto, Uranus, all of those planets. Even the sun's doing that, and so the solar system it starts to expand infinitely because what the cellular inhibitor pretty much does, it pretty much makes you immortal. You can't die. because of the healing. It's because the healing and the invulnerability. You know, so you can't die, you can't get sick, can't anything. And people would say, well, then there'd be no point for the next generation because well
there is a point.
There is a point. You still age. You just stop aging at 30, which would be at the right age to stop because you're wise enough, you're old enough, you're not too young, but you're not too old.
You're
right for the picking.
Right for the picking.
And so there still is a point because the Earth would constantly expand thanks to the larger scale version of the cellular inhibitor, and then as well as the solar system because there'd be multiple signals being sent out. So all the other planets of our solar system and beyond would start to expand. Eventually, our universe will start to expand. The way it expands is actually absorbing all the empty space that separates each universe apart from each other. So basically, this universe and the next universe and so on would not be far away from each other anymore. They'd actually become a part of each other. So every Earth, every variant of every Earth would become one Earth. Every sun would be one sun. Every Pluto, every Mars, every Venus,
what have you.
All of it would become the universe.
All realities would be one reality.
And so things would be much bigger, as you imagine.
Bigger.
Way bigger. Only thing that wouldn't get bigger is the size of, the biological species living on those planets.
Probably a good thing, too.
Because then, if that were the case, things would be way out of balance.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
But, what the size that does increase is, the planets themselves and the natural landscape and whatnot. Mainly anything that isn't, living. Anything that's dead, pretty much, or at least that is, that of the planet, it would grow. But anything that's not of that will stay the same size.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be like in Man of Steel when Zod was having that Earth mover thing where he was pumping the Earth up and down and then making it bigger, but he was killing off the humans and whatnot. It wouldn't be like that. The Earth actually pretty much starts to grow imagine how a balloon expands?
Yeah.
Except it doesn't pop though. It doesn't pop. It reaches a certain size that can inhabit all these alternate realities of Earth, on Earth. Now, but then you're also saying then how could we live in a world that's this big and everything?
Well, it's an infinite number of space. You can't run out of infinity.
And the thing is that for us, this would be a walk in the park because our new perception of reality would pretty much be infinite. We could comprehend the most incomprehensible, mess of anything than we could have nowadays, Yeah. So if anything, we can comprehend if the sun had a voice or something. We can comprehend that. We can comprehend if Pluto was actually a dog.
Which technically there is a Pluto that is a dog.
I mean, if the planet itself was a dog.
Yeah.
We could comprehend that. But,
we can comprehend if our fucking glass can talk to us.
And the thing is that, in a world this big, everything, the reason we could live in this world is because of the cellular inhibitor. The thing is that people, when talking about science, when you're trying to, think of how we can advance as a species as a new way of living. If you're trying, when you want to make that leap, that huge leap in the next generation of what the future holds and whatnot, you have to think first, what about yourself? Because if you just upgrade technology to its maximum,
you haven't really done anything, really.
Exactly. You've only upgraded technology, but you haven't upgraded humanity.
Well, we're here to fix that.
Humanity, always has, something. There's always something in, there's always a flaw, and so the cellular inhibitor corrects those flaws. But it doesn't take away what humanity really means. It doesn't take away your, the way your opinions. It doesn't take away your beliefs or anything like that. It just upgrades
as a restatement of before.
Yeah, it just upgrades your physical being. It upgrades your physical strength, your health, your blood, your
what happened?
What happened?
Well, that's our idea for you. I hope you all enjoyed. Please comment on things that you thought about what we're thinking about here.
Yeah.
I'm Space Crew 5.
I'm DFG Hulk.
We're the Ultimate Avengers.
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
That's
you
the
guys, we got you. You'll see.
Oh, you'll see.
It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be really cool.
It's gonna be awesome. Just
Epic.
make sure you bring the brown pants today, okay?
Yeah.
Bring the brown pants, and you know it's good for you.
Yeah.
So that's it for us.